Namaste. My name is Pandit Neall, and before I step into some other topics, I want to share a little bit about who I am, what I believe, and why I post these videos. I am a Vedic Pandit here in Orlando, Florida, where I've been based for the past 26 years. I was born in a small country in South America called Guyana. I come from a family that raised me in Dharma. My great-grandfather left India in the late 1800s, and my grandfather, Pandit Prashad, was also a Vedic Pandit who knew 5 languages, studied the Vedas and other Hindu scriptures, and ultimately moved to the United States in the early 1990s, where he lived in New York as a Vedic Pandit as well. And even though he died when I was very young, I still carry a lot of his legacy in me. Through the books and the teachings that he has left behind, I understood what it means to really be a Pandit. And at its core, it means to share knowledge. My grandfather, my parents, my Guruji, they showed me that being a Pandit isn't about control or hierarchy. It's about living honestly, with responsibility, and with courage to stand for what's right. And my journey as a Vedic Pandit started when I was about 15 years old under the guidance of my guru, Panditji Muniram Prasad. See, growing up, like many of us who were raised in Hinduism and going to mandirs, I was always curious. I had so many questions about the rituals, about Dharma, about Hinduism in general. And oftentimes, I'm sure like many of you, when I would ask questions, I would get yelled at and I would be told, why are you asking that? And shut up and just listen. This is how we've always done it. And for the longest time, I believed that. But then I met my Guruji, and he allowed me to ask questions. He allowed me to learn the meaning behind the rituals, the meaning behind the essence of Dharma. See, my core belief is that spirituality is meant to be simple, but powerful. The Vedas teach Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one, the wise call it by many names. See, that's not fear, it's freedom. Dharma was never about trapping us into a rigid set of rules or dogma or even rituals. Dharma is meant to set us free, to live in truth, with courage, and with compassion. In fact, the very word religion comes from the Latin religare, to bind or to tie down. That's why religion so often works through fear. Fear of punishment, fear of exclusion, fear of breaking rules. But Dharma is not religion. Dharma doesn't chain you, it awakens you. It's not about fear of sin, it's about alignment with truth. Not about binding, but about liberating the soul to rise to its full potential. That's what I carry forward in mandir, in community, and here through these videos. People often ask, why does a pundit need to speak on topics like mental health, on compassion for animals, or violence in our society? It's because Dharma is not separate from life. The Vedas say, Ma himsyat sarva bhutani. Do not harm any living being. That's not a rule written in fear. It's a truth to guide how we live, how we eat, how we treat one another, and how we respond to injustices in society. So when I speak on these things, I'm not stepping outside spirituality, I'm standing firmly in it. So this is me, a pundit, yes, but also a son, a husband, a friend, and a seeker, just like you. The wisdom I share doesn't belong to me. It comes from the Vedas, the eternal fire of Dharma, that was never meant to bind, but always meant to free. If there's one thing I hope you take from these videos, it's this. Spirituality is simple, but it's powerful enough to change the way we live, love, and see the world. Dharma is not a book on a shelf. It's the breath that courses through your veins. It's the courage to speak when silence would be easier. It is the quiet strength of love when anger pushes us to react. Dharma is not far away. It is the pulse of life itself. The ancients called it Agni, fire. Not just the fire of ritual, but the fire that burns in a mother's sacrifice. The fire that refuses to bow before injustice. the fire that lights up the human spirit even in darkness. That fire is Dharma, and every one of us carries that spark within us. Namaste.